Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with our Hako episode 9 reaction. So the previous episode, Taiki lost the singles. He, in the very first match, he was against this one guy. I forgot his name. I think his name was Yusa or something like that. I don't know. I cannot really remember. But yeah, he was extremely strong. Even though later on he also kind of like wasn't able to qualify, but still in the very first match, Taiki lost. And not only that, in the doubles as well, they weren't able to do anything. So for this year at least, it's over for Taiki. Taiki has 2 more years after this, which is, I guess, the saving, like the situation thing. But obviously that doesn't make it any easier because he was expecting to do at least something, which I'm pretty sure everyone was also expecting. We were expecting that, oh, even if he's not able to do it, maybe like 1 or 2 matches he'll win, and then he will lose and get disqualified. And the very first match was a big blow for him, and and in the end, we get to see that Haru got selected in the solos. Not sure about the doubles though. What happened there? Someone else got selected. I'm assuming some other group. And yeah, and also Chinatsu, as we get to know, Chinatsu was also selected in the basketball, like thing. So yeah, in the end, Taiki hears that he's happy for Chinatsu, but at the same time, he doesn't have the, I guess you could say, courage or like the face to show in front of Chinatsu after losing the game himself. Right, so let's see what happens today. Let's begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh boy. Hmm. Yeah, he is relieved, but at the same time, he's like, but I cannot. Hmm. But here's the thing: we need to remember, China's, yeah, we need to remember that Shinasu also lost once. He's his senior. I guess, but that doesn't really make it any easier. Like I said, yeah. Oh boy. I'll be rooting for you. Okay. Okay. Shrine. Hmm. What? Oh, okay. I was like, yeah, he does. This doesn't seem like something Taiki would say. Bruh. Mm-hmm. Oh god. Right. You know what? Don't blame him. Like after like so much workout and like that, she's in a similar situation. Oh boy. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Obviously they'll have to. They got selected, and yep. Hmm. Yeah. Oh boy. Well, yeah. Obviously, can't blame him. Hmm. Yeah. Like I guess. Oh. Okay. Hmm. Yes. Thank goodness. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, he'll have to focus on singles. Pin them up. Okay. I am sure Taiki will write. Uh, what did he write? Okay. Yeah. I'm sure Taiki will write the same. Hopefully. I'm gonna win this. Yes, there you go. This year, if possible. Wow. Okay, let's see what he wrote. Get selected or next year, but that's a wish for next year. Okay, there you go. Precision, that's what he needs. As Yusa also kind of mentioned, that he has the whole thing, but he cannot precisely shoot in a that's why the doubles was also he lost it. If he was able to do it a little bit properly, they might have won the doubles. Hey, come in. Oh, oh God. Right. Yeah, they haven't been having that much conversations, I guess. As I said, they're just like missing each other. Like he's studying, she's like busy with her practice. She's also studying as well, I'm guessing. Oh damn. Hmm. Oh, finally. But that will probably try to avoid her. Mm, well, he's gonna go back to his room. Yeah. And I feel like Chinatsu also realizes this. That's why she's also not really like initiating any conversation or trying to talk to him, because she's waiting for him to properly make his feelings, like sort out his feelings. Oh, exams over? You think so? Bro, where's Taiki? No, there he is. What? What happened? Oh, is he sick? His nose is red? Yeah, he's saying he's getting a cold or something. Yeah, he's sick probably. Oh, yeah, he's sick. Mm, yeah, it's gonna bring the. He cannot even do that now. He's sick. Hmm. Oh, wait, did he know? I guess she realized that he's like sick or something. That's why she came to check up on him. Hmm. Yeah, his. Okay. Hmm. Oh, damn. Yeah. Uh, what happened? Oh, well. Mm. Okay, I think this is the best time to kind of congratulate her on, you know, getting to the nationals. Hmm. Uh, well, but that was, if he went to the nationals, if he got selected. Oh, I guess he didn't really say that. He said that, like, I'll tell you tomorrow, like, after everything ends. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but he knows, like, what he needs to focus on. Like, going to the inter highs will be the result of that. Which, yeah. Hmm. Yeah, so he's going to focus on bettering his own craft now. Well, but that is also necessary. Oh boy. But he couldn't imagine. She couldn't imagine it. Yeah. Hmm. Damn. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. No, no. Hey, bruh, you, his head. Okay. Oh, right. Well, oh, um, what? Right. Okay. A shooting star. All right. That ended in an. That ended in a interesting way. Oh boy. Hmm, that is it. And yeah, that was today's episode. So, today we had the aftermath of the whole the matches, the qualifiers, and we got to see what everyone is doing, how Taiki is coping with it, and and also the fact that Chinas was also practicing because there's not enough time for the nationals, all those things, and obviously Taiki and Chinatsu's conversation at the end, which was necessary because they weren't really getting enough time to talk and they were just, passing each other. Also, Taiki was kind of hesitating to come to talk to her, and I feel like Chinatsu was also waiting for the perfect opportunity and giving him time to, sort out his feelings at least, so that then they could have a conversation. And I guess she was like, you know what, a perfect opportunity, when he got sick, she was like, this is a perfect opportunity to talk about it because yeah, it was necessary, I guess. Also, she also saw the thing that he Taiki wrote, the goal, and in that goal, the fact that I want to go to nationals is missing. Kind of, she was like, okay, I can bring this up and talk about this then. Um, Right. So yeah, thankfully by the end of it, Taiki was able to sort out his feelings, and as he said, he's going to change the thing that he wrote. Now, one thing I want to obviously say here is that as Taiki said that up until now he was just like, oh, I'm going to win this, that kind of attitude he had, which is obviously very necessary. That is, you're not. I'm not saying that that's not necessary. That is necessary. Like against all odds, even if everything is against you winning and there's no opportunity, or you can with a rational brain you can understand that what, I cannot win this. The fact that you have a high goal and you are determined enough that you think that, okay, what, yeah, I'm going to win this, that is definitely necessary, you know that confidence. But at the same time, as Taiki says, that he wasn't looking at what was immediately necessary of him to focus on. Instead, he was looking at a something that is way later, that comes way later. For now, as he said, he needs to focus on his smashes, and he needs to be more precise, more precision based smashes he needs to make. Otherwise, yeah, it'll be difficult. Right, and that is why, and you can probably say here that, as he says, that yeah, he definitely wanted to go to the nationals, but he actually had no idea like what it is to stand in a stage like this, compete and win, and then go there. Like in his head it was like, how they say, like, you have theoretical knowledge, but when you start doing the practicals you're like, bro, what is this? This doesn't go anywhere near what I learned in my theoreticals. This is completely different. That type of thing. Yeah, you might have book knowledge, but unless and until you are on the field doing the thing on your own, you aren't going to go anywhere. And that is when you realize that book knowledge is in nowhere enough to do something properly. Like, yeah, it is necessary, obviously, like book knowledge will help you, but in the end you have to go down into the field and do it yourself. And that's why a lot of people say that, damn, I was thinking about this, that this is going to go like this is going to go like that, but as soon as I started doing it, it doesn't go in that way. Taiki was up until now like a book knowledge, like he, like, not in that sense, not in the literal sense book knowledge, he was practicing, but I'm saying more in the fact that he wasn't there. He was here thinking that, oh, I'm going to be there, but now he is there, or he's on the way. He has stepped into that zone, and now he has realized that, damn, this is nowhere near what I thought it would be. This is something different. This is like a completely different thing, and this is going to help him, next year. Like, everyone needs to dip their toes into the main thing before they realize what it actually is, what type of thing that is. So in that sense, you could say that yeah, now he has an understanding. Now here's another thing I feel like, like in the qualifiers, even if he like passes the qualifiers, the nationals will be another complete different beast. Now Chinatsu has one more year after this, like this year and then the next year, I think. Taiki has 2 more years, next year and the year after that. Like Chinatsu is currently in the nationals, but I feel like it'll also take time for her to, like, I don't know if she'll be able to, her team will be able to win the nationals this year only. I doubt that. I don't know. She might go into up until the finals, but I feel like her team is going to lose by the end of it, and then they'll have to like try for the final time the year after that. uh that's why I'm saying, like, the nationals is another different, like, beast. So Chinatsu as well, I feel like now that she has been qualified, now that, just like Taiki, now that she'll go to nationals and be facing the people over there, she'll realize how different it is from the qualifiers, and that'll be another, like an experience for her, which hopefully, even if she's not able to conquer this year, the next year she'll be able to. um you know so kind of like that, I guess. So for Taiki, now that he knows what he's dealing with, he's like, yeah, like this is not what I thought it was. Like I was like, oh, I'm gonna win this, and he had confidence. Like obviously he wasn't underestimating the whole thing. That's not the case. Neither was he too overconfident in his abilities. He just didn't know what it was. He didn't know what to expect. Like in his, like, head, he was giving his all, obviously. And in his head he was like, I'm going to win the nationals. You know. But now that he has stepped into that whole thing, he's realized that yeah, I'm going to win the nationals. That is still there. But there's so much other things that I'll need to focus on before that. Like I just thought like just practicing is going to do it, but no, I'll have to be more precision, like, based, like, like kind of focus on the individual stuff that I think I have to improve. One of them is obviously his precision for the smashes. All these things. Either way, yeah, that now he has realized that, I guess you could say. And yeah, he'll continue. And obviously, like I said, his goal, he hasn't really given up on his goal, which I feel like he was kind of almost, like, in that zone. But as Chinasu talked to him and said that, like, no, like, yeah, you want to win, that is valid, but you like, I'm glad that you're focusing on this, but don't forget your main, thing. Don't think that I'm being too overconfident, I'm being too over, like, out of my league. Don't think that, because there was a time when I also thought that. But you know we will have to keep that goal in mind, instead of thinking that, oh, maybe I'm just biting off more than I can. You will have to keep that, instead of thinking that. Just think that, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. And even if it's way out of your league, that should be still be your goal. That's why in the end Taiki was like, okay, I'm going to add that. um he didn't say that I'm going to change my thing. He said I'm going to add that, which obviously means that he still thinks that he needs to focus on his smashes, which is true, obviously. Like he'll need to be more precise. Like, because I feel like their group might have had a chance if he was able to do that whole smash properly in the doubles. Yeah, we'll see. Anyways, yeah, that was today's this episode's highlight today. Chinasu and Taiki's conversation, and Taiki's realization that yeah, he is, like, what he has to do and what he has to focus on, right? And also the fact that finally Chinasu and Taiki were able to talk. Like, they had to give each other a little bit of time to like kind of put their feelings, sort out their feelings, because Taiki was kind of like, oh, I don't know what face to show after losing like this, and also the fact that Chinatsu won while he lost. He didn't want to, like, go there and talk to her in this situation, because I feel like he felt, it's a, like, you can understand, it's a complicated feeling. Like, both of you had like the same goal, but one of you was able to do it and the other one wasn't. Like, it's a bit of a complicated feeling for both the parties involved in it. Like, Taiki, who lost, he's conflicted because he wants to be truly happy for Chinatsu, but he knows that the fact that he lost, he cannot really be truly happy in that sense. Also, Chinatsu's conflict was that she won, and she wants to go and console Taiki, but she realizes that, like, because she won, her consoling him probably wouldn't really, like, it's a, yeah. So that's why the best thing to do in this situation was just give them each other a bit of time, let them sort out their own feelings, and then have a conversation, which they did, obviously, in today's episode. Right. Yeah, and like, that was the main part of today's episode. A few other things today, for example, like the exam and all that. They had to do the exams and everything. Hina worried about Taiki. The fact that he is, like, he hasn't been able to sort out his feelings. That whole thing. Um, then we have the writing of the goal, like what I'm going to do, like, what my future goal, that part, and Taiki getting sick. Right. So these were the other things. Oh, also in the end, Taiki trips. I thought he was going to bump it. Like, it seemed like he was too close to the wall that his head is going to just get bumped into the wall. But when he falls, you could see that at quite a distance. But yeah, Chinatsu tried to help him not to fall, but she also ended up tripping. Yeah, and there you go. Yeah, in the end, you can see Chinatsu's like, I don't know what she's doing. She's like touching his face and everything. I am. Next episode, we'll probably see what happens after that. Like, I'm sure everyone can realize what happens. She's going to come to her senses. She'll realize, and she'll just get up and she'll be like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And she's going to run away or something. I don't know. Something like that will probably happen. Either way, yeah, and there you go. That was today's episode. Good episode, and yeah, I'm glad that Taiki was able to, like I said, sort out his feelings and, get back his confidence. Right. And also the fact that both him and Chinastu were able to have this conversation. Right. And there you go. That was today. That was today's episode. Now, that was my overall impressions for today. Now let me talk about this episode scene by scene. In the very first scene, we get to Taiki. That part actually kind of, like, I was like, Taiki's like, oh, it's too much. I, you know, I cannot do this. I'll have to give up. And I should have realized that he was talking about something else. But I don't know why. But I was like, for a moment, like, wait, what? But then I was like, yeah, this is in no way is Taiki thinking of giving up on this. Like, I don't think he's that type of a character. But yeah, then we get to know the real reason he's trying to give up on the exams. That's what he's trying to do. But obviously, you cannot do that. You're in school. You have to do the exams. Right. And he's like, and you know what? I cannot really blame him. He as he says, like, he has to do the practice. He has to, after school, he has to do the practice. Then he has to go home, and then he's tired. Like, he just doesn't want to study. Like, you know, like, yeah, like, he's like, what the hell is this? Like, I don't want to do it. Like, after all, like, the exercise and the physical, like, an exertion that I go through, after my daily practice, going back and studying, that is a, And he was saying like, like, oh, I was thinking like I can do it by the end of it, but now, I think Kyo here says that do it every day or something. Where's that part? Anyways, I think Kyo says something like that, and he's like, like, I cannot do that. Like, it seems impossible. Now, this is kind of funny because I know that there are different people who do different ways they do their studies and their academics. There's like a few people are the type of people who just doesn't focus on it up until the very end, and then the a few like like at the very end they like just go through it completely and like like keep like even at night they like do a full night study and everything, and that's how a lot of people do, you know and there's a few other people who does it every single day. Like, I'm more of the do it every single day but in small amounts type of person. I was, as a, like when I had to give the exams and all that. um like, for me it was like I cannot do it like for an increased amount of time. Like how in the very end a lot of people used to just study for like hours and hours, like every single day, like for a few days. Instead of doing that, I was more comfortable in just doing little, but every single day. That was more of my thing because I cannot focus on like something like studying, which I'm pretty sure everyone hates studying. Like for that amount of time every single day for a few days, I cannot do that. So I decided to do it every single day, but for a very small amount, but do it regularly. And it kind of worked, for me at least. I just, yeah. And if you do something every single day, it kind of like clicks. At least for me it clicked, where like I just used to read the book, my study material. I just used to read it every single day, and by the end of it I just realized that I know everything. Like if you keep reading something every single day, like and everything, like, and revise it and do it like that. Yeah. And I used to start like like a few, like one chapter, maybe like like a half a chapter one day, and then the next day I used to read that half a chapter and then used to read the rest of it, and then the next day I used to like that's how I used to increase little by little, and it kind of worked out. But for obviously Taiki here, he cannot do it like that. He's like, yeah, like how can we do that? Anyway, as I went on a tangent, it just reminded me of how I used to do my thing, and and yeah, obviously exams sucked. It will suck, in the future as well. Like this is a thing. Oh boy. Anyways, um, Taiki then goes to the gymnasium or whatever, and he sees everyone is practicing. Obviously, the basketball club girls are also practicing. They don't have that much time, that's why. And Taiki's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go and practice. I'm not gonna study," and he just goes off, trying to keep his. As he said later, if you remember, he said that trying to keep these thoughts out of his mind, he has to focus on something else. That's why he used to go to runs and everything to clear his mind up. Here as well, to not focus on that, he decided to just focus on his practice, which was obviously, as Hina says, that he hasn't been able to sort out his feelings. But Kyo's like, don't worry, like, it's fine. He like, it's Taiki. I'm sure he's going to, like bounce back up very soon. Right, and then we congratulate Haryu for being selected. You know, yeah. And then we have the teacher telling them that, oh, write down your goals, and everyone starts writing their goals. Nishida, I think that's his name. Yeah, he wrote that, oh, I'm going to go to the nationals. And then we have, I was thinking like what Taiki was going to write, but as we saw, he wrote, um, need to be more precise with my smashes. And you can see Chinatsu kind of looks at it, and she noticed, like, like the guys, like, the basketball, not basketball, sorry, the badminton, like the guys, them putting up these things. So I guess, as Chinatsu says later on, she went and looked at it, what Taiki wrote. So that's what she noticed here. So probably later on she comes and looks at what Taiki wrote. Also, probably to figure out what he's feeling. Because as I said, like Chinasu was probably feeling awkward to go and talk to Taiki as well in a situation like this. So she decided to go and look at what he wrote so that she could have at least a little bit of understanding as to what type of a situation he is in. If he wrote something like "I'm going to go to the nationals," then Chinasu would probably be like, "Oh, thank God," like he hasn't given up or something. But as she says that you didn't write you're going to go to the national. You just wrote that I'm going to be more precise with my shots. You know. So yeah, which she brings up later, as you can see. Either way, uh, that was that. And then we focus on the exams again, as you can see, like everyone's studying and everything. This probably helps him, as he says, like he says later on, because of the exams. I was able to like kind of not think about the whole situation, which kind of helped me. I was able to like kind of push that whole thought aside. But as we see later on, he gets sick, so Okay, so yeah, this is where we can see that he kind of like is sniffling and he's like rubbing his nose, which is like yeah, he's probably catching a cold. And you know what? This was a more realistic version of catching a cold. Like I feel like animes have a very unrealistic way of how people catch cold. Like some character falls into the water or dips their leg in the water, and the next day they have like a high fever or something. I'm like, bro, what is this? But this is a more realistic way of catching cold. This is how people catch cold. It doesn't suddenly happen one day like, oh, I'm I'm sick. It doesn't happen like that. It gradually happens. You catch like you kind of sniffle. You have a little like a like you kind of sneeze like yeah that part. It happens for like 1 or 2 days, and then you catch a cold. You get a fever, and it kind of like deteriorates, and then you have to take rest and everything. That's how this happens, because as you can see, Taiki here, while like studying for the exams, he was catching a cold here. He was like yeah, and then after the exams end, he like finally he's like, oh my god, I cannot continue this. I have fever. So yeah, this was a more realistic anime, like a portrayal of what a cold is like, how you catch a cold and how you get a fever. It doesn't happen like a switch, like oh, I turn this on and turn this off. Oh boy. Anyways, yeah, and here you can see there was like one section where Taiki was going to go down to take like drink water or something, but Chinasu comes in, so he decides to stop for a moment, and you know, yeah, because he still cannot face her. He doesn't know how to, yeah. Okay, like I said, it makes sense because you yourself are depressed about something, and someone else is happy about something, so you don't know like what type of face you should make in that situation. Like you cannot genuinely be happy for them because you yourself is depressed. Not only that, the fact that you cannot be genuinely happy for them is also kind of depressing, which makes you even more depressed. So it's like a weird type of a chain. So instead of just trying to firm it out, you just try to avoid that person. That's the best way. Give it time for your own feelings to come down, and then have a conversation. Right, so Taiki then, after the exams, you can see Taiki's like not okay. His nose is red and everything. So he goes back home, and he falls down onto the bed. He's sick. He's like, like he's getting fever. And as he says that up until now he was, and whenever he felt like he was thinking about that day, he just went on a run, or he did his studies. That helped up until now. But now he cannot even do that. He's sick. He cannot move. He's just stuck in his bed on his lonesome, thinking of all of these things. And he was thinking of Chinatsu and everything, thinking of when he told her that, oh, I'm going to go to the nationals, all that stuff. And he's like, God damn it, that was lame. But then Chinatsu comes in and she's like, no, that wasn't. And Taiki was like, kind of trying to avoid Chinatsu, especially in this situation, because he has a cold and he doesn't want Chinatsu to catch a cold. And this is the thing, I guess, like, again, I don't know if this is actually what happens, or, but I feel like like yeah, it is true. Like if you are sick, like especially like if you're like sick with a cold or something, there is a high possibility that the other person who tries to take care of you at that time might also get sick. But that rarely happens. At least I don't know. Like it never really happened to me or someone else. Like obviously, there's a lot of people most of the time who get sick in my household as well. Like my parents, someone else, like my friends at school and everything. Like I don't think it was ever like contagious in that sense. Like being with them at that time. So again, like this is something that we see in anime a lot, that oh, like you're gonna get sick and the person does become sick, the person who tries to take care of the other person, they also become sick. But I don't know, I feel like that's also something that is like kind of exaggerated in anime, because that, again, like I said, it happens, but at least to my experience, it's a very rare occurrence. Like yeah, like you know but anyways, like I hopefully Chinasu doesn't get sick. But like I said, if this is an anime, I don't know what's going to happen. But Chinasu comes in, and also the fact that these, like Chinatsu is not only Chinatsu, Taiki as well. They are people who do sports. Chinatsu especially does basketball, where you have to just keep like run around and like practice and everything. These characters like immunity system should be through the roof. They are tough people. These people, people who do sports, everyone are tough, and it's difficult for them to get sick in that sense. So I doubt Chinas is going to get sick at that. And just barely, like, just coming in contact with Taiki. I doubt that. But yeah, you know. Either way, um, so Taiki gets like, oh, like you should stay away from me, but just like, stop, you're sick now. Let me do what I'm doing. Jinatsu goes, starts making like a udon, and then she comes and gives it to him, and she's like, this is all I could do. Your mom is going to come in late, so I had to make you something. And Taiki's eating it, and Taiki's like, damn, because of my blocked nose, I cannot taste it. Even though I finally got to taste, Chinasu's homemade cooking. Right, so Chinatsu is trying to like look at the dosage of the medicine, but this is where Taiki is like, where's that part? Oh, Taiki is like, oh, like it's fine, you can go back to your room. But Chinatsu is like, no, I'll stay here. I want to talk to you, because we barely were able to have any conversation because of the whole thing. And she's like, also, you said that you are going to ask me something, and he obviously he cannot. He's like, yeah, well, did I say that? Oh, haha, I forgot. But Chinas is like, okay, so let me ask you something then. I saw what you wrote over there. You didn't write anything about the nationals, so I was wondering. And this is where Taiki says, like, I just realized, like, after reaching there, that I was just like thinking of a goal so much further than me, and I had no idea that I was skipping so many steps, and there's so many other things that I need to focus on. So that's why I decided to focus on my smashes, the precision of my smashes, because that's what's more needed. And Chinasa was listening to him and was kind of smiling, and he's like, "Oh, what? Why are you smiling?" And she's like, "Oh no, like I'm not really like making fun of you or anything, but I'm just smiling at the fact that even you think about these type of things, which is true. Like I said, like whenever you look at Taiki from the outside, you kind of see like, oh, an overly positive person who it seems like doesn't really think of stuff like this. So Chinatsu realizing that that's not the case, she was smiling. Okay, so this is where Chinatsu also says that you're not alone. Like I also felt like that. I also felt like maybe I'm trying to bite off more than I can chew. Maybe I'm way out of my league, you know. And there were all so many times I thought like giving up is so much easier. Like you know, yeah. But okay, yeah. And she says that. Wait a minute, where's that part? Okay, yeah, here we go. No matter how out of depth you feel, if that is what drives you, then that is enough. Um, and I want to root for people like that. There you go. And she's like, yeah, so you feeling like that is not wrong, and it also doesn't mean that you should not, like, focus on that goal, even if it's way in the future. It's fine. It's fine to do that. Right. And in the end, like he thinks that, what, this is why I like her. She genuinely thinks about the other person, and with her own experiences, she kind of, where's that part? Like, this is what I like about her. Here we go. It's because she has, there you go, first-hand experience of struggling with these issues and working through them. She can empathize with others. Yeah. Um. Right. And then in the end, Taiki's like, you know what? I'll add that. Yeah. And then when Shinasu was going to go and keep the dishes at, in the kitchen, Taiki's like, oh, I'm going to help, and he tries to get up, but obviously, like, he's sick. He cannot. As soon as he gets up, he gets a little bit dizzy. He almost falls, and Chinasu tries to help him, but Chinasu also trips, and yeah, there you go. And obviously, in this moment, you know, I'm sure everyone expected Chinasu to get up and be like, oh, sorry about that, bye bye. But Chinasu here kind of takes her hand and tries to, I don't know what she's doing, but tries to put her hand on Taiki's face, and that's where it ended. I'm sure that's going to happen later, where she's in the next episode. She's going to probably come to her senses and just get up and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry," like, like, I don't know what came to me, and she will probably just leave. But yeah, that's how it ended today. Right, and that was today's episode. Good episode, and I'm glad that they were able to have a conversation, and Taiki is able to sort out his feelings. And yeah, so yeah, and that is it. Thanks for watching. This was my reaction to episode number 9 of Aono Hako. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed, comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That is it. Yeah, I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Aono Hako. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.